So yesterday I was talking about serialization. Serialization means writing an object to a stream is called serialization. Reading an object from stream is called deserialization. What is the class you use to write an object? Which class did we use? Object. To write an object. Object output stream. To read an object, object input stream. Okay. Now yesterday we discussed while reading object, we use object input stream but read object, right? While deserialization is happening, the constructor is always called, right? Constructor is always called. And suppose here in this case I am reading an object of employee from the file, right? So I am calling object input stream dot read object. What should it do? It should create an employee object. In the file there are some values for instance variables of employee. They should be copied into the object. So constructor should not be called. Generally in constructor what type of code we write? We write code for initializing the instance variables, right? If constructor is called during deserialization, object will be created with some default values which we don't want. After deserialization we want the object with same values as they are in the file, right? So during deserialization constructor is not called, right? Now the next thing I want to discuss is some issues. I was yesterday talking about a simple scenario. Suppose if there is a class called as address, which is having private string city, private string country, address inside. Address is not implementing serializable. So can we serialize address? No. Now in employee what I will do is I will create a variable of type address, get reference address. Employee is implementing serializable and it is having a variable called as address which is not implementing serializable. Can I serialize employee? If I try to serialize employee, what will happen? It will try to write each and every value of the instance variable. But can it write address? No, address is not implementing serializable, right? So the point here you need to understand is each and every variable of a serializable class should be serializable. Otherwise the whole serialization will fail. So if address is not implementing serializable, serialization of employee also will fail, right? So in that case you have two choices. You can make your address class implement serializable, then employee object can be serialized, or tell me, if I don't want address to be serialized, what should I do? Transient. Right? Now this we discussed yesterday, right? The next thing which I want here is I will write a separate class called as manager extending employee, but manager is not implementing serializable. Suppose if manager is having a variable private int you tell me something which manager has. Private boolean has a separate cabin. Generally managers will be in a separate cabin, right? That's it. But some of the managers may not be having cabins, some of the managers have cabins. So in this case, manager is extending employee, employee is implementing serializable. Can I now serialize manager object? See logically? Yes. So manager is extending employee, employee is implementing serializable. So indirectly manager also is implementing serializable. You can, right? But alternate scenario, if you take employee is not implementing serializable and manager is implementing serializable. Now can I serialize manager object? Yes, it will be serialized, but whenever I try to serialize manager object, only the variables present in manager will be serialized. The variables present in employee will not be serialized. Right? During deserialization also, only this will be having a value, those will be having default values. Right? So these are things which you need to remember. Any doubts? Clear? The next thing which I want to discuss here is class is implementing serializable. Just see carefully here in your type. Just see carefully, one small issue but important issue. I will just write this object. If I write this object, all the fields will be serialized. Employee ID, name and salary, because I removed transient. So first I will just run as, okay, it has written in the file, it might have been written in this file, right? Now after writing, I am just modifying the employee.java file. So what I will do is I will say I will add private string city, then getters and setters I will add. Right? Now I will try to read. Should it be successful? See, when I have written, what all fields are there? There are only 3 fields in the file. In the serialized file, there are only 3 fields. After I have written, I have modified my dot class file. Now there are 4 fields. If I try to deserialize, if I try to read, should it be successful? It should not be successful, because when writing, the dot class file is different. When reading, the dot class file is different. Right? It should not be successful. If it was successful, what should be the value of city? We don't know. Because while writing there was no city. Right? It should not be successful, right? Let's say I'll just read the object now. I got an exception. What is it saying? Invalid class exception. Okay? So how does the JVM know that the class while writing was different and the class while reading was different? This you need to understand, very important. The thing is, whenever a class is implementing serializable, right? If I compile this class, the compiler will write a variable, static variable inside this class automatically, called as serial version UID. Serial version UID. If I don't write any variable, also automatically the compiler writes like this. You can also write, see here, I'll just keep my cursor here and see here, I'll say add generated serial version UID. I'll just add, see, if the compiler by default will add this variable, private static final long serial version UID, some long value, some long value, right? So this is a long and it is static and final. Who will introduce this? Compiler will introduce. So every serializable class will have a variable called as serial version UID, right? How will this value calculated? Is this a random value? No, this is not a random value. To generate this value in JDK bin directory, there is a tool called as serial var. Right? I'll show you. in C program files, Java, JDK, bin, there is something called as serial work. By using this tool, the compiler will generate the value. Okay? Internally it happens. By using this tool, the compiler will generate the value. Right? I will just show you how to generate the value. Okay? So I'll just go to MySys, workspace, file, bin directory. I will just go to this folder in my command prompt, go to the directory. Now serial what will it be recognized? Because JDK bin directory is already in the path we kept on the first day, so it will be recognized. If I press enter, it should show me the options, right? It is showing use serial work like this. Serial work space hyphen class path. You can specify the class path directly, then class name, right? So I'll say serial var space hyphen class path dot means current folder should be in the class path, com dot mysys dot employee. So I want the serial version UID for this employee class. See what is the serial version UID? 4981 something. This is the same value which Eclipse also generated automatically. So internally, when I clicked on that link, Eclipse also used the same serial work tool and gave it here, right? Even if I don't write this value, what the compiler will do? Compiler will write the value, right? So every dot class file which is implementing serializable has a serial version UID. This serial version UID is created by a tool called a serial work. That tool will take the instance variables into consideration, the type of instance variables and number of instance variables. By using that, it will run an internal algorithm and the value is generated, right? So if I add one more variable, the number of variables increased, type of variable also is different, so the serial version UID also will change if I compile it, right? So while writing earlier, the file employee.class was having different serial version UID. While reading, it has a different serial version UID. So JVM will throw an exception saying invalid class exception, right? Any doubts?
Here we added a field, but if we decrease one field,
Yeah, whatever, if you add or decrease.
but then it should read, right? It should read one.
But the class structure is changed. If the class structure is changed, then it will say it is invalid class. That means the J will understand the class while writing is different than the class while reading. So J will throw an exception, right? If you decrease the field also, it will reject. But logically, whatever you say is correct. If you decrease the field, it should read, but the J will not.
We add method.
Methods does not make any problem. Adding methods will not make any problem. Only the variables, the number of variables and type of variables are it. Right? Based on the number of variables and type of variables, that serial work tool is creating that random serial version UID value. Right? But sometimes in your application, even though you changed the class, you don't want that exception to happen. Sometimes. Like take an example. On my mobile I am playing cricket game. Right? So I paused the game yesterday. So the state of all the objects might have been serialized. But what happened? The next day when I started playing, it prompted me a new version of this game is available. Do you want to download? You might have seen such things. A new version. So generally what we say, yes, download. It will download. But in the new version, some of the class might be changed. Right? Okay. New version is installed. Now again if you start your game, do you expect it to continue from the previous past time? You expect. Right? You want it to work. You have passed the game. You are having some score. You are having some score earlier. You don't want to start from scratch again. You want to resume from this step, right? So sometimes, even though the version is increased, even though the class is changed, you don't want the exception to happen. You want it to be serious, right? So in that case, what you can do is you generate the value and write it. Previously, we took the one which is given by compiler, right? So you give the value, right? Now, let's assume that earlier, when city was not there, you generated and gave some random value. This can be random value. You can give your own value also. Let's assume initially when city was not there, you gave some value, right? You added city, but don't change the value. Don't change the value, right? So what the compiler will do? If there is already such a variable which you defined, compiler will not add, right? If you have already defined such a variable, compiler will not add. So the variable will be having same value. Deserialization will be success, right? Then what will be the value of city? Null, the default value, right? So these are the issues which you face during serialization or deserialization. Yeah. A default constructor is not there. See, during deserialization, what will happen? Object is created. Object is created means memory is allocated to all the variables. The default value of city is what? Null. That will be there. Constructor is not called. City will be having null. No. Even if you don't do constructor also, the default value, if memory is allocated for a reference variable, by default you will have null. You need not initialize it to null. Default you have to be having null for a reference variable. Right? So any doubts? Now the thing about wrapper classes. Wrapper classes does not belong to IO, but just a general concept. So I'll just write a simple class, wrapper class demo, and take main. Tell me, is Java a fully object oriented program? Not fully, right? In every object oriented program, they are trying to make this Java as fully object oriented, but still not fully. Okay, in every object oriented program, everything should be an object, right? But primitive types are there, int, float, double. Are they objects? They are not objects. So if I create a variable int I is equals to 10, do you feel that this is I is not an object? Internally what happens is the compiler will convert int to integer object automatically. Every primitive type will be converted to a wrapper class corresponding to int. There is a class called as integer, java.lang.integer. Corresponding to float, there is a class called as java.lang.float. For double, there is a class called java.lang.double. For boolean, there is a class called java.lang.boolean. So for every primitive type, there is a wrapper class. So whenever you are declaring a variable, primitive variable, automatically it is converted to a wrapper object, right? So now see here, instead of saying int I is equals to 10, what I will do is I will say int I is equals to new integer of 10. See, actually whenever I am saying new, an object is created, right? So it is working, because in this case I am object is created and I am assigning it to primitive type. In this case, what is happening is wrapper type object is automatically converted to primitive type, right? Or I'll do like this: integer j is equals to 10. Oh, for an object j, reference variable j, I am able to give a primitive value, right? So in this case, what is happening? Primitive type is converted to wrapper type, right? So conversion of primitive type to wrapper type is called as AUTOBOXING. What is the meaning of a wrapper? Something which is surrounding. Suppose if you want to give a gift to somebody, what you will do? You will wrap it inside some nice cover and then give it, right? So every primitive value is wrapped inside a wrapper class, right? Wrapping means, I can say, you are keeping it inside a box. So when you are doing like this, primitive type is automatically converted to wrapper object. This is called as AUTOBOXING. Converting primitive type to wrapper object is called as AUTOBOXING. And here in this case, what is happening? Object is converted to primitive type. So it is unboxing. Conversion of object, wrapper object to primitive type is called as unboxing. Conversion of primitive type to object type is AUTOBOXING, right? These AUTOBOXING and unboxing are introduced in JDK 1.5 version. Earlier in JDK 1.4 versions, before 1.5 versions of Java, this concept was not there. This will give an error if you are compiling against 1.4, right? And you know about how to convert a string into int. Suppose if I have string s is equals to 25. Actually in this s there is a integer, but I want it to convert it. I want to store that value inside a int variable. So how to do it? Yes, integer dot %, and I'll pass yes. It will try to convert. What is the return type of %? See here, it is returning int, right? So you can store in a primitive type. Similarly, if you have a float and if you want to convert it to primitive type float, if you have float in a string, if you want to convert float dot parse float, double dot parse double. So like this the value, right? Boolean dot parse boolean. If you have string true, then you can convert it to boolean within boolean dot parse boolean. So like that, you have parse methods in all the wrapper types to convert string to, right? Now what will happen if I have string s is equals to abcd, and if I am trying to convert the string into it, will it happen? No, abcd cannot be converted to integer, right? So in that case you will get number format exception. In a string, actually, if there is number, in string there is 100, it can give you 100 as a int. But if there is string called as abcd, the string abcd cannot be converted to a number, right? In this case you will get a number format. Any doubts still now? Unicode. Unicode of a character, right? Unicode of a character. Integer dot want a Unicode value of yeah, suppose you want a Unicode value of a, small a. What I'll do is I say I'll take char c is equals to a. Okay. Then if I say system.out.println c, what will it print? It will print a, right? Okay. Typecast it int. In this case it might be same, but not all values may not be. ASCII code value of A is 96 or 97. Maybe if I give capital A. In this case it might be same, but not always. Java uses ASCII. It is Unicode, not ASCII. Any others? Fine, right? The next topic which I am going to deal is static import. What is static import? When do we need to import something? Whenever you are using a class present in another package, right? Suppose if I am using, say, file input stream. File input stream is present in a package called as Java.io. What you have to do is you have to write a import statement, right? But I want to use file output stream also. In this case, see here there are two imports generated, file input stream and file output stream. Both. Do I need to import both, or writing like this will be sufficient? Import java.io dot start. Is it sufficient? Yes. Now, once you understand this, I told about class called as math. In math, let's try to create an object of math. I just want to say about a specific case. Math is present in which one? Java.lang. Yum is equals to new math. Where is math constructor? There is no constructor for math class. It is private. So you cannot create an object of math. Actually, in math, there are all methods of math are static, and all variables are static. So they thought there is no need to create an object of math. You can always call math dot, right? So there is no constructor for math. What you can do is you can call math dot. See, math dot pi. If you want a value of pi 22/7, you can use this constant math dot pi. Right? Math dot e. E is what? Base e. For logarithms we use base e. These are two constants which are present in math, and there are a lot of functions. ABS, it is taking good. What do I mean by ABS? Absolute. So, what if I do 10.5 F to ABS of float? What if I do 10.2? 10.6? So we convert automatically, right? And there are methods like math.sin. You can use sin. Math.cos, math.tan. Lot of methods are there in math, right? Now, do I need to call? Suppose if I want to say math dot random we used earlier. we will give a random number. Again, if I want to call math dot sign for 10.5, this will give me the value of sign math.cos. So now in this case, to call each method of math, I am using math dot. I don't want to use math dot always. I just want to call random. I just want to call sign without math. So what I can do is I can import this math statically. Now I am getting error. What I'll do is I'll just write import static java.lang.math. Sorry, static import, not import static. Static import okay, math dot start, not static import, it is import static. Import static java.lang.math.start. So now what you can do is you can just directly call the methods of this math, right? So whenever you want to call multiple static methods of a particular class, you can import that method, you can import that class statically like this, right? Again, this is a feature introduced in JDK 1.5. Earlier versions it will not work. So once you understand about it, I want to talk about something interesting thing called as an enum. What is enum in C? You know, in C, enum. Enumeration. What is the use of that enumeration? String variable to integer or integer variable to string? Assign an integer value to some array, some list of elements, right? Same concept, but in a different way of objects. That was without objects in C. In object terminology, how do we use enums? Just see this example and tell me your suggestion. Just understand this concept of enum. I'll say enum demo. See, in my employee class, I want to write some method. What employee will do? Employee will do some work. So public void do some work. But what work to do is decided based on the parameter. I will pass int day. On Monday, an employee does some type of work. On Tuesday, he will do different type. Wednesday, different. Thursday, different. So depending upon the day, he will do different type of work. Let's assume, right? So now in this case, if I pass 1 is for Sunday, 2 is for Monday. Like that, based on the value of one day, whether 1 to 7 I can pass, I have to decide what to do, right? So in that case, what will you do? In this method, if day is equals to 1, I want to do some logic. If day is equals to 2, I want to do some logic. What you will do? Will you write if else cases? If else? Switch case? Yes. Switch. Right? Switch day. And for case 0, here you write something to be done. Case 1, you will write something else like that. case 2. I'll write something else. So I'll write a switch case like this, right? But now my logic of do some work method will work only if you pass the value of day between 1 to 7. But is there any way to restrict that this do some work will not accept 8, 9, 10? Do some work is taking int. I cannot restrict saying, okay, this should accept only 1 to 7. There is no such way when my method is taking int, right? So what I want to do is I want to restrict that the parameter passed should be in some range only. I want to say these are the accepted values for this method. Other values are not accepted.
If you remove default, it will accept only those cases which is specified.
And it will accept. But I want to restrict. Anyway, each case having a default. If you pass 8, default will be executed. But I don't want to allow you to pass 8. Right? Suppose if it is taking int, I may pass 8 and 9 and I expect something to do. Suppose if I pass 8, I may assume that after 7 again, 8 means Monday. 7 is Saturday, 8 means Monday. I assume like that and I expect it to work, but this method will not work exactly. So I want to restrict the user such that he can pass only some restricted values. Right? For that we can use enums. So let's see how to define a enum. New enum. Okay, I will say the enum as day. I want to restrict only from Sunday to Saturday. Okay, so here I say int Monday. Monday, inside day I will say Monday, Sunday. I can give any variables here. Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. So now day is a type. Do you agree? Day is a type. Int is a type. Employee is a type. User defined type. Day is also a user defined type. But what type? Is it a class? No. It's the enum. What are the permitted values for day? Sunday to Monday. So Sunday, is it a enum? Is of what type? Sunday is of type day. Monday is of type, right? So now I defined a enum like this, and what I'll do is here I'll make my do some work to take day, and here I'll say day. Here I should give case Sunday. Case Monday. Case Tuesday. Like that I can give, right? Now I am restricting that do some work will take a type day. So in day I define only 7 types, Sunday to Saturday. So in that case I am deciding, right? Now if I try to print the value of Monday, what will it print? Guess. Let's see system.out.println day dot Monday By default, the value of that is printed, not 1 like in C. We'll start from 0, I guess. And then Sunday is 0, Monday is 1, it will take like that. But here, it will be changed. Right? Any doubts?
The value to switch must be the day.
Yeah, here I give, no? In switch also I give. Right? So, enums are nothing but we can treat them as constants, but typed constants. Sunday is of type day. Sunday is a constant of type day. So, enum is nothing but a typed constant. Right? Any doubts? Now let's see here. I'll try to create an object of employee, new employee dot do some work, and I'll try to pass one compilation error. I should pass only day dot Monday or day dot Sunday, any type of day only. So if you try to pass 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, it will give a compilation error. So enum is nothing but a typed constant. Any doubts? Now the next thing which I want to tell you is I want to print all the types of days available. So what I can do is I can say days dot day dot values, day class, day type dot values is giving me an array of all days. So I can iterate over each day and print it. Day dot values, I will take it in day array days. Right? Now I will iterate over each day. For each day, day colon days system dot out dot println. So let's see whether it will print all the days. So this is how to iterate over all the enums, right? Okay, now you want to assign value to Monday. You want Monday to be 0, Sunday to be 1, right? So let's say I'll take int I. Is it accepting? Can I give a constructor to this? Yes. What is it saying? Illegal modifier. No modifier is allowed. Okay. I'll remove this. That's fine. And what is it saying? I'll declare this here. Day I'll create private int I. Now I'll pass int I, and here I'll say this dot I is equals to I. Here, while declaring Sunday, I'll pass Sunday as 1, Monday as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally you can give any value, you can give 10. But here there is no default value like that. It's just treated like a constant, right? You can give any value. It will not increment automatically. Okay. Now coming here, I'll say day dot. Now let's say I'll print all this. Now what will they print? Can I give getter method now? Now I'll give day dot get I. Now let's see, printed. So what I mean to say is your enums can also have variables, not only one variable. You can have 10 other variables, and you can call getter methods like any other variable, right? You can give a value for each constant, and you can get it and set it also, right? So why to use enums? Yeah, enum is nothing but a typed constant. Generally, to define a constant in Java, we use final variable. But if the variable is of some type int, I cannot restrict the value of that variable. So if I want to restrict, I should have given a type. So enum is a typed constant, right? So that's about enums. Any other doubts? Tell me.
What is user defined function? Depth to depth or enum day is a user defined, right?
You can give anything. Enum
I mean,
company.
Primitive data type.
Enum.
It is a primitive data.
No, enum. The day is a name given to my enum. Not type. Day is not type. Day is a name given to my type.
Type name given.
Type name is day. Enum is a type. Int is a type. Enum is a type. The next topic which we are going to discuss is threading. The important part of Java, why Java became so successful in the market is because of its feature to create multiple threads very easily through program, right? So let's go ahead with threading. So first I'll stop this video.